guys, welcome to the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods. Pretty good weekend.
Yeah, it was
not too bad. Kind of slower than I thought. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of a, like something's going to be big and come out, but it was all Comic-Con pretty much. Yeah. So we were left with a box office.
Yes, because we don't talk about the important news. We just talk about the leftover news.
Exactly. Dunkirk, #1. Christopher Nolan back on top. 50 million first week. Not bad.
Actually, surprising. I did not think that movie would actually take #1. I thought it would maybe come in second place, maybe battle it out with Homecoming somewhere.
Or Planet of the Apes.
I thought Planet of the Apes was going to stay #1.
I did too. The surprise for me actually was Girls Trip. Set it off on vacation.
That movie did better than Rough Night with Scarlett Johansson.
31 million. Projected at 20 million.
That's
31
crazy.
million. Not bad mom numbers, but still very, very freaking impressive. Did not see that coming.
I told you, black people support black movies. I knew that movie was gonna do well.
But I think you said it the last time about Rough Night having a dark tone as far as the death and the Weekend at Bernie's
and
vibe.
This was just like hanging out, having fun. Bad Moms was about hanging out, having fun. Rough Night was we killed a stripper accidentally.
Exactly.
But kept his heart on.
Exactly. Well,
I don't know if that's really dark.
Yeah. Well, no, I'll leave that one alone. All right. So Spider-Man: Homecoming was actually #3 with 22 million.
Very depressing.
You could see a spike though in that movie now that the leak of Avengers: Infinity War came out and they had those glimpses of Spider-Man.
Showing him in a.
I think it might. Yeah, in the Avengers spider suit.
Yeah, it looks more like a. We're not gonna get into that. But yeah,
we'll get into that later. But anyway, I think it's gonna see a small spike because of that. I think they want to go back and
now
check
that's out there, people are like, oh yeah, let me go see the new Spider-Man before Infinity War comes out, so that way I'm more familiar if they hadn't seen it already. I can see that. I can see it.
Planet of the Apes, disappointing for me. Great movie. Top 5 in the summer. In the year for me so far. It was actually #4. Dropped down from 1 to 4 with 20 million. Respectable. Not too bad. Still a pretty deep freaking dive there.
It is. I was thinking that after it took #1, I thought that maybe this franchise was going to continue on. We were going to get a 4, 5, and 6, but I'm not too sure anymore now. This might be it.
Well, one that I know is it, and you could attest to this, is Valerian.
Oh, that movie's done. How much did it make?
That movie made $17 million.
Holy crap, and the budget was?
It was like 150 million.
Crazy. And we don't have a Judge Dredd movie. We don't have a Judge Dredd 2, but yet this movie got made. This movie was garbage.
Yes.
Garbage.
The Sixth Element was horrible.
The Sixth Element.
It was absolutely poo-poo. And, it might do something overseas, obviously. Cara Delevingne and some of the actors in there. It might be a draw overseas.
No, because the Asian market doesn't like space movies. We already got proven that.
Transformers.
No, that's not a space movie. That happens on Earth.
Okay. Whatever. Forget it.
All right. What happens in space? This?
Yeah, exactly.
That's all we saw in space.
Hey, you know what's actually at least a really great thing about this past box was Wonder Woman at #9, 4 million, but has surpassed Guardians of the Galaxy for the top movie of the summer. 389 million domestically that Wonder Woman has already accumulated. 779 worldwide, beating Guardians of the Galaxy at 387.
That's good. That means that Wonder Woman as a franchise is now solidified, and we're never going to stop seeing Wonder Woman films.
I think right now between Beauty and the Beast, maybe Fate of the Furious, Guardians, and Wonder Woman, actually some of the top grossing films of 2017 so far.
Somehow Spider-Man's not there.
And so Spider-Man is not there. You know what? It's like Spider-Man's doing like Doctor Strange numbers. And that's
not for that type of property. It shouldn't be doing those type of numbers.
Anyway.
It shouldn't be doing those type of numbers. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man 2 made more than Homecoming did.
Warner Brothers has already announced that Wonder Woman 2 will be taking place.
Sorry, guys.
Warner Brothers has already greenlit Wonder Woman 2, so that is definitely happening.
All right, cool.
A bright spot in DC universe right now.
They needed a win. They finally got a win, and they're gonna ride. Wait, hold it. That's not gonna.
They're gonna ride that win.
I was gonna say they're gonna ride her Gal Gadot all the way
to the bank.
Like, that doesn't sound right at all. I mean, it sounds great, but it doesn't sound right in that context.
Well, sticking with superhero news, the long-awaited Spawn reboot is finally in the long-awaited Spawn reboot is finally in the mix. Blumhouse has partnered up with Todd McFarlane to actually make the movie that he wants to make, to completely pretty much discard the 1997 version starring Michael Jai White.
Do you think Blumhouse is becoming a new line? The new line.
The amount of properties that Blumhouse has come out with, a lot of it's original. New Line, in a way, yeah, I guess maybe, because if you
because New Line did all these movies.
Elm Street original. They made Austin Powers original.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat not original, but still they started.
The first one was good.
The first one was good, but that's what I'm saying. It started something.
It seems like they took chances on stuff that bigger studios didn't want to take chances on, and like you said, they did some original things. Blumhouse does a lot of original things.
And another thing is that it's actually doing, I think, a little bit as good as New Line, because they're taking small budgets. They're making more with less,
right?
Is what I'm saying. You know, their budgets are small. They're getting decent, well-known actors that they don't have to overpay.
Yep.
And put out some solid product.
Same thing New Line did.
Yeah, same thing with New Line, exactly.
Until they gave Wesley all that money and he didn't want to pay taxes with it.
So Todd McFarlane is looking to actually change it up a little bit and make Spawn similar to how Spielberg did Jaws. The main
in the shadows, hardly ever see him. Kind of like how they did the animated series, where he didn't do a lot, but he was just kind of like in the background and stuff like that. And and they don't it almost became like the Friday the 13th show that they had was like
without Jason.
It was it was serialized. Or Freddy's Nightmares. Or Freddy's Nightmares. It was like they were just kind of like, oh, it was. It's about you, but not really about you, and it can do all these stories that have to deal with some kind of criminal element or kind of dark subject matter, or they can have all these things in the movie and then have somehow it revolve around Spawn the same way the animated series did. They had all these other stories, and then Spawn had like this overarching theme that went on with the film, with the TV show. So he wasn't really a big part of every episode.
But Spawn's story in general, and and how the things he has to go through as Al Simmons, and how he's double crossed and then sells his soul to become Spawn and this and that. I mean, all of that's pretty interesting.
Okay,
right?
But we're not gonna see that in this.
We probably won't. I don't think. And if you do, you're gonna see it like you're gonna get glimpses of everything. Okay. Just to see what's on his mind or whatever, right?
And I think they're going in the wrong way.
They're going Twitch as the main character.
I mean, in the comic book, Sam and Twitch were the main. They were the eyes of the comic book reader, so they could be the eyes of the eyes in the
street.
Yeah, well, of the audience.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah. So I can see why they would do that, but I really don't want the whole movie focused on them. I want them to be like they were in the comic book, where they were kind of more of if they had a Batman. They did a Batman comic book where it was all through the eyes of Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, do you really want to see that?
Honestly, no, I don't. But I trust Todd McFarlane. I trust Todd McFarlane, so I think that he would make the right choices. It's his property. He loves the character.
We shall see.
Yeah, we shall see. I don't think that he's going to do anything that's going to tarnish what he's already built with Spawn.
There's that whole Violator scene and. It's fine here, Rich. That's why.
But John Leguizamo was awesome in that thing. Anyway, so Twitch is the main character, similar to what Roy Scheider's character was in Jaws as Sheriff Brody.
Okay.
The comparisons of the two are like they're really parallel to each other. That's what McFarlane wants, is for it to be exactly like that.
Okay.
So Spawn and cameos. Spawn featuring Spawn. They're gonna Godzilla.
Spawn featuring Spawn.
Special appearance by Spawn.
Special appearance by Spawn. That's actually funny. They just call it the Twitch movie. Which you said just Twitch. So is it not Sam and Twitch? Because they were partners.
It's just Twitch.
So they're gonna get rid of Sam.
Yeah. The way it looks right now.
Fanboys unite! Fanboys unite!
Because this is Blumhouse, the whole aspect of this is going to revolve around the horror of the character and of what he's around, and I guess maybe the brutality of how he handles the guys, the criminals,
things
in the
that happen
alleys and stuff like that.
So like that, messing with the bums and stuff like that.
Is this the right approach? Nope. Honestly,
nope. No, for Spawn 2, maybe. Spawn 1, nope.
2 high-profile actors they're looking at right now, or that's what they want anyway for these 2. A decent amount of high profile. Okay. Who would you have for Twitch? Who would you have for Spawn?
I mean, they could get. I mean, for Twitch, I mean, he was just kind of a nerdy guy. I mean, he was a nerdy guy.
I don't think they're gonna go that route.
He was kind of like frail, skinny, had big glasses, and
Goldblum.
I mean, they could get Goldblum could do it. At least it'd make it interesting if they got Goldblum. I mean, but they could get anybody. They can get a nobody. I don't ever think of as much as I just made a big thing about Sam and Twitch. I just think of them as like Bulk and Skull, and saying that you do a Power Ranger movie without Bulk. You're only gonna do it with Skull. It makes Skull. it makes Skull the point of focus of that, and it's like it doesn't matter who plays him. He's just an integral character to the whole world of Spawn. I mean, they could get anybody. Put him in a trench coat, give him some big glasses, give him a wife and some kids, and call him Twitch.
All right.
Doesn't really matter. Who's Spawn? I want Michael Jai White back. That's all I want. Okay. He is my Spawn. I don't want anybody else.
Okay, now. You can't have Michael Jai White.
And I don't want to see this damn movie.
Put your comments below.
Michael B. Jordan.
He can't be everything. He cannot be everything.
Mahershala Ali. Let him bulk up.
He's too quiet. His demeanor is too quiet.
Spawn is quiet.
Yeah, but Al Simmons isn't.
What's the name of the guy? Keith David. There you go. Give me Keith David.
Keith David is like 103 years old, man.
Spawn is burned. Alrighty then. No makeup needed.
Put your comments below on who should be Spawn. Jamie Foxx. No, I'm kidding. No way. Jamie Foxx should be Blade. Sticking with the superhero news. Despite the awesome success that Wonder Woman has got the DCEU, the DC Universe is actually kind of getting on people's nerves a little bit, especially behind the scenes when it comes to these reshoots.
Yes.
These reshoots are, for Justice League, are really putting a thorn on some of the actors' sides here. Now, originally, what was the
I think they're like timeline, 6 to 10 weeks, something like that. They try to knock it out like within a month and a half to 2 months and reshoots, which is standard for all these big tentpole movies. Is like because now they want to do other shots. They want to tighten up things tighten up dialogue, transitions between things. So it's, in this world now, reshoots aren't a bad thing anymore. But when they brought in when Zack Snyder left and they brought in I can't think of his name right now because I'm horrible.
Kevin Feige.
Thank you. No,
not Kevin Feige. Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon. Sorry. When they brought in Joss Whedon, I knew, I was like, he's gonna look at that script and he's just gonna totally tear this crap.
Well, he's actually kept a lot of the stuff
because he kind of had to, or at least start reshooting the whole film. So when it came down to like reshoots, he was gonna want to change up a whole bunch of things. So to hear it, I was like, I wasn't surprised, but it's a little it's a little troubling that the film was gonna be released this way, and Joss Whedon had to come in there and say like, we should fix this. So I'm happy that they're fixing whatever they need to fix now before the film gets released and we eat it. I mean, we tear it to pieces, then to release and spend the money now, which means that this movie is probably not going to be that profitable when it does come out. This is like amazing.
Justice League?
Yeah.
You don't think Justice League is going to be profitable?
After they spend all the money on reshoots. Do you know, what was it, World War Z? They spent a crap load of money on reshoots and stuff like that. That movie barely made money back.
It warranted a sequel.
It warranted a sequel because if they had to look at it, it was like, man, we hadn't done all these damn reshoots. Look at all the money we would have made.
Well, you talk about reshoots and you talk about pretty much hitting the panic button. Look how messed up in tone Suicide Squad was.
Yes,
I mean the tone in Suicide Squad.
They did a bunch of reshoots on that too, and it didn't make it that much better.
Made a lot of money though. Made a lot of money though.
So I hope Justice League makes a lot of money.
I don't think the Justice League is gonna mess up from that.
No, I mean, like I said, I can only hope for the best that what Joss Whedon would do with this film. I just worry that what we were going to get. What we were gonna get. If he has to do this many reshoots, man, it was probably a mess.
Well, Ezra Miller is currently doing Fantastic Beasts 2, which is pretty much owned by Warner Brothers, so his schedule is not conflicting too much. Gal Gadot and Ben Affleck currently do not have too much stuff going on right now. They're kind of taking a break, so it's not affecting them too bad. The one that it's affecting the most and it's a shock considering that he's barely in the damn movie. It's Henry Cavill.
Allegedly in the film.
Yeah, allegedly in the film, yeah. Like Optimus Prime was really all Transformers 5. Henry Cavill right now is currently filming Mission Impossible 6 with Tom Cruise for Paramount.
Which is the only thing that makes me interested in that film.
So it is not, well, he was in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and
No, that's the reason why it makes it interesting for me, because I actually like The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I didn't like that one.
Well, you don't watch movies. So I like that film, and that's the only reason why I want to see it, because I was like, ooh, it's a crossover.
Anyway, so that's been actually, you know, giving a headache to Henry Cavill, who plays Superman. It's giving him a headache because, you know, he's got this property that he's pretty much in the movie, and Justice League, he's like probably going to be barely in the movie.
And so why go through all the trouble for this when I'm barely going to be in the movie?
Even more so than that, he currently right now his character in MI6 has a mustache. They're going to digitally remove it.
They can't make him do the Chris Evans thing where he sat there with the shawarma. Yeah, he had the hand over his beard.
or Michael B. Jordan in Fantastic Four, Fantastic, when he had the mustache from Creed.
Oh yeah, I forgot. There were so many editing mistakes in Fantastic Four, Fantastic. But yeah, it's crazy though. It's like they're gonna have to spend more money to take that out. Yeah, because he can't shave it.
There's that, and then the fact that, you know, I think they're filming Mission Impossible overseas. So I mean, imagine him having to come back and forth, back and forth. It really is a big freaking mess.
The movie may only break even.
Hopefully, it'll work out at the end. So we know that Henry Cavill is going to be Superman, God willing, and he's going to actually come out. He's going to have a pretty major part. Maybe that's what the reshoots are about.
Okay.
Somebody that we were actually skeptical on whether or not he was going to return to his role is Daniel Craig as James Bond. Well, it's been announced that he is going to be James Bond in Bond 25.
All right, so following our whole thing about black superheroes, Idris Elba not being Bond.
Idris Elba will not be James Bond.
That's will not be Bond. So there's another black role that we ain't getting.
Yep. And you know, after Spectre, maybe even actually during Spectre and after Spectre, he was like, I guess because of an accident that he went through.
Yeah, he said he didn't like the way they shooting there, and he was like so labor intensive.
So many things that he had complaints about. He complained about everything. So it was like really like, you know, is he gonna come back? Are we gonna get Idris?
Yeah, let me
Tom Hiddleston.
Let me tell you what they did. They were like, yeah,
yeah.
There you go. We'll see you.
Man, Bond 25, baby. I'm all in, baby. We'll see. Shaking that third.
We'll see you when we start shooting.
Yeah. Well, Bond 25 is set to open in on November 8th, 2019. So that's when that's coming out.
He was contracted for one last one anyway, by the way.
Collectively, Daniel Craig's Bond movies have grossed almost $4 billion worldwide.
Outside of Sean Connery.
That's pretty freaking good.
He's the biggest Bond they got.
As far as financially, maybe you're right. Yeah, but Roger Moore, I think, is the one that probably. Maybe Pierce. Should he have let it go? Should he have let it go? Should he have given it to Idris or Tom Hiddleston?
I mean, if he really didn't want to do it, he shouldn't let money bring him back to the table. Like I said, he was contractually obligated to do the last one anyway. He had one more on his contract, so they could have made him do it regardless or sued the crap out of him. So that was one reason they could say, hey, get your ass back to shooting. Or they could write him a check and say, shut up. Shut up! and get back to shooting. So we were going to see him for one more anyway. Now, if he really didn't want to do it, this was the perfect opportunity. We were talking to Idris Elba, we were talking Tom Hiddleston to be the next Bond. People were already on board for it anyway. We were ready to let go Daniel Craig. So they should have just jumped with it and said, all right, cool. He don't want to be Bond no more. Let's go ahead and get Tom Hiddleston. Let's go ahead and get Idris Elba.
And he heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not going to happen. I got to be Bond again.
Basically, it's like he got jealous.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, wait, you gonna break up with me?
Oh, hell no. We were made for each other. You remember Christian Bale was offered $50 million to
come back as Batman.
But he didn't want to. And he didn't want to do it. Once Ben Affleck got the job,
I kind of want to come back as Batman. That's all it is. That's my because it's like, oh, I'm easily replaceable. The same thing would probably happen with Tony Stark. If they would have said like, hey, you know, we're just gonna put War Machine. He's gonna be, hey, and he would be like, hold on, wait, I want to come back. I want to be a Spider-Man.
You're in. All right. That's freaking hilarious. So hopefully. Again, he actually does a good job, and lets it go, man. I think it's time. I think from
last movie.
From what I understand, Skyfall's the best in his whole library of Bond movies. I've never seen that one, but that's what I hear.
Skyfall was okay. It had nice little twist. Unfortunately, I kind of like Casino Royale. I like Casino Royale.
His very first one?
Yeah.
I just like that bikini scene. That's what I'm talking about him, but all right. All right. In WTF news,
Yes.
you know, we've had some pretty interesting WTFs. We've had poopery.
Yep.
We've had underwear patches that clear up your fart.
Oh. Thank you.
And now, thanks to Aspen's input on this WTF news, we well, first of all,
gross.
when it comes to cramping,
oh God, where are we going with this?
Midol, Motrin, Advil, those are usually the things that you want to take for these kind of things, ladies. And I sympathize with
I'm glad we're talking about this.
Yes, raised by single women, the both of us, you know,
Very true.
both married forget it, all right. Experienced marriage, you know, and I have a daughter, so it's I sympathize with the ladies when it comes to the cramping and that time of the month and everything. Well, in Colorado,
What product do you have for us, sir?
well, in Colorado, we have marijuana tampons.
Wait, what?
They're actually selling marijuana.
Oh, they're made of hemp.
Yes, they're of cannabis.
Okay, yeah.
And they're made. The tampons are made of cannabis, and the ladies use them obviously for their use, and it apparently delivers medicine where it's most needed. So it's
Most needed, huh?
most needed. So it's you know, it clears up the cramping.
Doesn't.
Medicinal marijuana
And
tampons.
what type of appetite does it cause down there? Tell me that one, sir.
Junk. Junk food. That means bad men. Horrible, shitty men. The appetite is shitty men. Oh, that's freaking hilarious. $44. You get 4. Yeah, you can't even believe it.
Exactly.
Oh man.
Old weeds.
So what is next?
What is it? I have no idea. What could follow that?
Cocaine nasal spray.
That'll clear it right up. That will clear it right up. I was like, okay, outside of my jokes, I totally get how this is a thing. Like I said,
man.
there's a lot of people who believe that that marijuana has a lot of uses, and people make clothes out of it. People make a lot of things out of it. Hell, I remember for my kids that I bought it was some hair product that was made out of that had hemp in it, and it had like herbs and stuff. It was like so I can smoke this. But I understand why they would do something like that, but I'm like, that's a poor waste of weed.
Would that be a joint with a fuse?
Well. Hey, could you puff and pass that?
Oh man, I want to know the man that's gonna shotgun that.
We've totally got off the
Oh
road now.
man. Would you be butt naked for a hot box?
I think you kind of would.
Oh man, I am curious to see what they're gonna use for diarrhea. That's. All right, Terrence, take us home.
I didn't even know how to follow that. Thank you very much for giving me such an interesting topic to follow before we get out of here. But we are going to get out of here, and like always, we need you guys to like, comment, and subscribe. We definitely want to know what you guys think about the shows that we do and the crazy WTF topics that we talk about. Make sure you put your thoughts about the cannabis. What are we calling these?
Talking to us about
sanitary napkins, cannabis sanitary. God, it's so gross. In the comments below, let me know what you think about it, and also make sure you subscribe. That way you're aware of all the other shows that we do on the channel. That's all I got.
Yeah,
I'm grossed out.
Hey, rest in peace to John Hurt, who played the dad from Home Alone.
Really?
The bad guy,
The absentee dad who left his kid twice.
Yeah, and the sleazy executive dude that went against Tom Hanks in Big.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, he passed away. So
that's it.
R.I.P. buddy. For Aspen on the side here, I'm Manny.
Terrence.
And that was the goods.
They call regular tampons vampire tea bags, so would you call these?
Oh!
Would you?
Vampire tea bags! That's hilarious!
Are these
Yes, this is
Would you call these like
this is very nice. Blah blah blah.
good kush tea bags?
Good Kush. That's gonna be their slogan.
Good Kush. You heard it here first, folks.